Hi friends, it's Holly Jones from Mrs. Jones Stitches. Welcome to my Flosstube. Today is Sunday, June 16th, 2024. It is Father's Day. I hope you are celebrating with your husband or dad. And if you can't be with them today, I hope you're reflecting on some great memories of you and your dad. Today is Flosstube number 32. I have a lot to share. We have 2 finishes, 3 whips. I have a whole tote bag or tote box full of previous finishes, some haul, and then at the end of this video, I'll attach part 3 of the Blackbird Designs booklet parade. I've been totally blown away by all the great feedback I've gotten from part 1 and part 2. It's been really fun to kind of look through those books, see things that you kind of forget about, see things that you maybe have never seen before, and start some of those things too. So it's been really fun. So thank you so much for the kind words and the feedback. I've seen a lot more people tagging me in Blackbird Design in their starts, and hopefully your wish list has grown a little bit as well. So life update, I'm still working night shift, and it is not as awful as I thought it was going to be. I actually really enjoy it. I've been staying up later on my days off, so that's given me quite a bit more stitchy time, which has been really nice because everybody else is asleep and in bed and the house is quiet, and I just sit here and watch Flosstube and stitch my little heart out. So, okay, so we'll start with 2 finishes, and this is one of them, and this is out of one of the new books. I believe it's out of Thy Love More Strong. I could be totally wrong. I'm totally blanking and I did not write it down. But I did a full color conversion on this using Colour and Cotton. And I have a fun story about this color palette. So here's my little finish. I turned it into a pillow, and there's the backing. I sewed on some chenille trim from Lady Dot, and I'm just super happy with how this one turned out. I've seen this pattern before too. This is from Heart and Hand, and It Was Always You. And the one that's on the pattern cover is actually done in like a navy blue, like a really mottled navy blue. And the flowers are brown and tan, and I loved the sentiment, I loved the chart, but the color aesthetic was not really something that I was super crazy about. So what I did was I took a piece, this is Boardwalk by Colour and Cotton, and I actually used the same color palette from this chart into this chart as well, and I love it. And I put my husband's initials right here and my initials right here as well, and it sits in the dough bowl. I used the same pink chenille trim, and I did a similar dot background, kind of the opposite, and this one's a little bit more gray, but I love this. It's my goal to have a tiered tray or a dough bowl that's just full of kind of like little love note type pillows, kind of like what Kathy from Hands On Design does. She calls them like love tokens, that she does every year for her anniversary. And so I want to have a little bowl or tiered tray full of little love pillows, kind of sitting on our, maybe like on our dresser or something. So anyway, really loving those. And let me show you the color palette I used. So one day, if you're new to my channel, I love Colour and Cotton. I pretty much stitch exclusively with Colour and Cotton flosses. So one day, I was going through my stash. I was actually putting up a whole bunch of thread, and I just kind of started pulling color palettes. I didn't have anything particular in mind. I just wanted to start pulling things that I thought were really beautiful and worked well together. And I came up with this color palette. And it's just so like prim and dusty, and I love it. So the colors I chose are Antique Rose, Tulle, Gretel, Medium Mesa, Sand Dune, Cavalier, Mesquite, which is currently probably my favorite green. It's definitely my most used green. It's just a really pretty kind of green with a yellow undertone. Tadpole, Viridian. This is probably one of my most used blues, and this is actually all I have left of it. I don't believe this color is still in production. So I really am like saving this for really special things. Tambourine, which is very similar to Viridian, just a little bit darker. Then Eggnog, Hayride, Hay Bale, Spool, and Fossil. So I just thought they really worked well together. And so what I did was I pulled these colors and I stitched this with it. This fabric is Hay Bale Medium from Colour and Cotton as well. I used it for this, and this, like I said, is Boardwalk by Colour and Cotton. And then my friend Becky, she's on Instagram as Crafty Mimi of 6, asked me if I wanted to stitch along with her while we stitch from Blackbird. This is in the In Friendship's Way book. So here's the front of the book and the back. And one of the little gems in here, again, this is why I show books, because you would never know that this is in here, is this chart right here. It is the 1861 antique sampler. And it's very alphabet heavy. And you know, there are some motifs on like the bottom third. But again, you would never know that this pattern is in here because it's not pictured on the front or the back of the book. So she asked me if I wanted to stitch with her. Of course I said yes, but this is just a really prim kind of darker color palette. There's only like 8 colors: Black Coffee, Brown Hen, Caramel, Old Marigold, Old Money, Old Brick, and Tin Bucket. So maybe 7 colors. Not really my aesthetic. So can you see where I'm going with this? So I decided to use these colors. So I took the other piece of Hay Bale Medium, which is the same one that I stitched this on. I really liked the yellow in the linen. And I started stitching. So here's my progress. And it's kind of bright in here, so it's kind of washing out this pink, but I'm really happy with it. To begin with, I was not so sure about it, but the more I've stitched on it, I am really loving watching it come together. I'm really looking forward to start stitching the motifs at the bottom, but I've been really happy. And I think that's just a testament too to when you find a color palette that you like, you can really make it look versatile, because I feel like all of these look so different even though they're with the same colors. So that's been really fun to work on that. So that is one whip. Another whip that I've been working on is from the Sarah's House book, and it's this one right here. It's called Polk, Nebraska Pinkeep. And I don't know if I have a better picture right here. We go. I love a basket of flowers. So I started that, and this is where I'm at, and I'm really loving it. Again, using the same color palette. And you'll notice too, just because I use the same color palette, I'm not using all the colors. So this one has a lot more of the darker red berries, the antique rose. It has some more Gretel. And then the mesquite for the green, the hay bale, and like then you look at this one and it has none of the antique rose in it. So again, you can still use the same color palette, but you don't have to use all of the colors on every single chart. So I will say one thing, I messed up somewhere on here. I'm pretty sure I miscounted, and some of this berry right here is a little too close to the basket, so I need to unpick this and move it over a couple stitches, otherwise the basket's gonna run right into the berry. So I've set this one aside for just a little bit. It's in my cute bee project bag that my mom made. And anyway, so I'll pick this up. But one thing I'm going to do with this, and let me save this for a little bit later in the video, because I'm going somewhere really fun with Becky, and I can't, well, you know what, I'll just tell you now. So I'm going to the weekend in Waco retreat with Annabella's, and we're going at the end of July. Becky invited me to go with her, so off we go. So anyway, I've been thinking about table gifts, I've been thinking about smalls exchange, and I decided that I was going to stitch this for my smalls exchange, and instead of where it says Polk, Nebraska, I was going to put Waco, Texas at the bottom, and I think it's going to be so cute. So once I have the basket done, I'll stitch Waco, Texas at the bottom, and maybe 2024, but just something to commemorate the weekend, and I love a good blackbird. So any excuse to stitch a blackbird, I will happily take. So anyway, I made a larger copy of one of the other charts that had a lot of kind of the charted space, and you can see I kind of charted Waco, Texas, just so I could space out my letters. I'm really excited. I haven't been to a retreat since I went to the All Things Winter Retreat with Annabella's last January, and it was in Florida. So I'm really looking forward to it. Waco's only about 4.5 hours from where I live, so it'll be an easy drive with my good friend. So I'm really looking forward to that, looking forward to meeting some new friends and having a nice getaway. So one thing I also did too to prepare for the retreat was I was thinking about table gifts, and I couldn't decide what I'm going to do specifically for a table gift. And so then I thought about, since I messed up on that Polk, Nebraska with moving that berry too close or the flower too close, I thought, well, I'll stitch a backup smalls exchange piece. And so this is Stitch With Me. It is from the A Little Help from Our Friends Stitching Circle with the Silver Needle. It's by Lizzie Kate. And so what I thought to do was I thought I would stitch this one right here. And then at the bottom, these are just some little kind of like motifs down here, little circles. And I thought I could stitch Waco, Texas, or maybe Waco TX24 or something down there. So here is my work on that. And the only thing I have to do is, again, type or stitch Waco down here. And then I have a couple little charms that I'll use for the center of the flower. And yeah, but I really like this one too. This stitched up really quick, only in like maybe 4 or 5 hours. So then I thought, well, I could stitch up like 6 more of these and then I have table gifts. But that's a lot of time that I'm spending on table gifts that I could be using to finish the 1861 sampler. So we will see. But the colors I use for this are Cauldron Bubble, which is this really pretty lime green, Oxford Blue, Deep Sea, Robin's Egg, Stitch Markers, Pearl White, Petal, Golden Ale, Marigold, and Zinnia. So another really kind of fun, bright, summery palette. So anyway, there's that. Let me tell you about this basket. I was going to save this for something else. One thing that I love to do is I like to stitch, and sometimes I'm not always able to stitch in my craft room. Sometimes I need to stitch in the living room or things like that, but I don't want to carry all my stuff out there. So let me show you this little stitching basket I made. I'm really happy with this. So this is a napkin holder from IKEA. It's just a raffia wicker basket. And what I did, my mom for Christmas, I believe, made me these pot holders, and they're just kind of bright and fun, and it is the perfect size to fit in the bottom of this basket. Then I took a little pin cushion that she had made me, and it sits right in here. I usually always have a needle minder in here, and then honestly I usually have a couple Wonder Clips, which I just took them out, and then a pair of scissors. So this is really great. It's portable, it can be carried anywhere in your house. All your stuff stays together in this little tray, and it's about 9 by 9, 9.5 by 9.5, and my floss fits in here, my pattern and my stitching, and I'm off to the races. So I've seen a lot of people do the jewelry cases and things like that, but I really love this little, and it's a $10 napkin basket. So easy, so simple, and yeah, so let me go into, what else did I have in here? Let's go into some haul. Okay, so I am part of a new club. This is from Heartland Quilting and Stitching in Lincoln, Nebraska, and they did a Lady Dot Creates trim bundle. This is their first one, June 2024, and in this bundle you get chenille, you get rickrack, and you get mini pom-pom trim, and it's very reasonably priced, and it's perfect for finishing. So you get 3 yards chenille, 2 yards poly pom-poms, and 3 yards of rickrack. So I'm super happy with this. I don't know if there's any more spots open in this club or not, but all really great colors. That'll be really fun to add to your stash. I got the Color and Cotton monthly club as well. This is the bright colors this month. Dragon fruit, sunflower, Glacier Bay, Caribbean, and purple parrot. I've been really into blues lately, obviously, but yeah, I'm really loving blue this summer. Okay, Thread Club all colors, 5 skeins. I'll just hold it up like this, that might be a little bit easier. Lots of pretty blues and purples. I love the green in there. And then here is the other 5. I usually get 10, so here are the other 5. Lots of fun stuff. And then the primitive neutrals are a really pretty autumnal color palette with lots of reds and oranges and browns. So again, knocked it out of the park. Let me show you the fabric for this month. This fabric might be my favorite Color and Cotton monthly fabric ever. It's so pretty. Sorry for the crinkling. I get 32 count. This is called Dove, and it is a really pretty kind of brown gray, and I love it. And it looks great with this color palette. So I definitely will be stitching something on this. I'm not sure what, but I freaking love it. I need to email and see if they have any more because I want it all. Okay. That's haul. We already did the Color and Cotton. I went to a quilting shop with my mom. It was in Chickasha, which is about 40 minutes from where I live, and they were having, it was their 39th anniversary, and so everything in the store was 39% off. So I mean everything. So I got a new blade for my rotary cutter, and then I got a little bit of fabric. I got this really pretty pink and white floral, and then I got, oh, I love this one. I love this floral. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it's just really pretty, really feminine, and yeah, so honestly it'll probably end up being backing for little mini pillows, but I don't care, it's beautiful. I placed an order from Kitten Stitcher. They have a really great clearance section, and I got a little bit of fabric. I got this. I love this sewing themed fabric. This is by Moda. And I got a yard of that, and then I got a yard of just this gray gingham, which again will be perfect for backing for pillows and things like that. So really fun. And then I placed an order with 123 Stitch, and what did I get? Oh, I got one other thing. I'll have to show it to you. It's a small start. But I got a fat quarter of 32 count Nessie by Picture This Plus. It is a really pretty aqua with lots of great modeling. I got this pattern from Shepherd's Bush. It is Dashing Through the Snow. And I don't love back stitching. I actually really hate back stitching. But I had recently finished a Shepherd's Bush patriotic pattern and it had back stitching in it and it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I saw this pattern. I thought I would get it and give it a whirl because there is back stitching on it, but maybe I'm just maturing in my stitching, but I didn't hate it. And my other thing that I had gotten, I've seen a lot of people post this recently, so I decided to order the chart. I have a really small start, so I was it is Painted Flowers from Shakespeare's Peddler. And I think this is so beautiful. So I have the tiniest start on that. And I will show it to you here in just a second. So I just started outlining one of the tulips. And this is 32 count Gunmetal by Weeks that I'm stitching on. And the color palette, I ordered all the DMC. It was stitched in DMC, and like I said, usually I stitch with Colour and Cotton, but I did not want to have to do a conversion for this many colors, so I just bought the called for DMC. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, Kohana had their anniversary sale. And they offered 5 colors of scissors and they were limited quantities. And I knew I was going to order a pair because I have my red pair of Kohanas, which are right here. And these are my most favorite scissors. They're super sharp. They are just such a smooth cut and I just really love them. I got these last year for Mother's Day and they're the best scissor. So I knew I wanted a pair and I ordered the blue. And then as I have them in my cart, I'm like, I'm paying shipping from Japan anyway, so let's just go crazy. So I ordered the green. And I love the blue and the green. And then a pink one fell into my cart. So now I have 4 pairs of Kohanas. And I have no regrets. I love these scissors and they are well worth the investment. They're great. So now I have more than one pair. I feel like whenever I go somewhere I never really take my Kohanas because they're just very dear to me, but now that I have a couple pairs I'm probably a little bit more willing to take them places. Okay, so did I miss anything else? I don't think I did. I made notes here and everything. So I did have a couple of things that I forgot about when I made part 3 of my Blackbird video. So I have 2 patterns that I left out on accident. And this one here is Beneath the Sunlit Sky. There's not an extra to this. It's just the pattern here itself. But I love this one. It says, the sea appears all golden beneath the sunlit sky. And I just love it. It's such a really cute sentiment. And I love this bird and the wave. So pretty. And then this is not new or anything, but it was just one that I didn't have. It is And Blossoms is the Rose. Like I said, it's not out of print, but there's some that I just have not added to my cart yet. I got this on a D-Stash page for a deal. This was from 2018. And we have Quaker Family Registry, which again, this is one that's not pictured on the front or the back. It's a really pretty Quaker. Oh, I'm sorry. The original is pictured on the back here. And then their adaptation is the actual chart. This is And Blossoms as the Rose, and this is a drum. with instructions. The Lily of the Valley. I really like that one. I'd probably brighten it up a little bit with some brighter colors, but really, really nice. And then this is a little drum, and I will love these still. That would be really fun for a smalls exchange too. Is that it? Yes, it is. All right. So thank you so much for watching. If you're going to the weekend in Waco on a Bella's retreat, drop me a message below. I would love to meet up with you and say hi. I think that's about it. So I'll go ahead and attach part 3 of the Blackbird Designs booklet parade. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time, and we will see you next time. Happy stitching. Just kidding. I totally forgot. I had one more thing that I was going to share with you today, and those were my previous finishes, and I cannot believe I forgot them. They're right down here in this tote. So let me go ahead and do those real quick, and then we'll do the Blackbird Designs project book walkthrough. Okay, so my first one, this is 4th Block Party by Hands On Design, and I did not finish mine as a block mattress finish. What I did was I used this piece. I actually got this piece at Hobby Lobby probably 2 years ago. It is kind of 3D, you can see on the side, and the inside part said thankful. And so what I did was I covered that with this ticking stripe fabric here, and then did another piece with some batting underneath this stitching, so it kind of protrudes out just a little bit. And I love this one. It's so fun. So you can kind of see the side of it there. Yeah, love it. This sits in my dining room because it is kind of a larger piece. Oops. Is that gonna stay right there? Maybe. Sorry, I should have been much more organized. Okay. This is from Brenda Gervais, and I cannot think of her name right now. But I stitched this maybe 3 years ago. I entered this in the fair. She did really well, but I used, of course, all Colour and Cotton, but I really love the variegation and the spool down here. I remember this was Bing Cherry from Colour and Cotton, and this one here in the blue is Winter's Eve by Colour and Cotton as well. Really fun. And I kind of did this like scrappy floppy bow up here too, which I really like. Okay. My smalls. This is my patriotic dough bowl. It sits on my kind of table in the living room. This is by Plum Street Samplers. And this was actually one of the model stitch pieces that I had purchased from one of those like Facebook Marketplace. It was a Facebook Marketplace sale. A guy had bought a storage unit, and inside of it was full of cross stitch and shop models from a store that had closed down probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. So I bought this. I know it's by Plum Street Samplers, but I do not know the pattern name off the top of my head. This is my recent addition. This is Faded Flag by October House. And I just did a little pillow finish with this kind of blue ticking stripe fabric, and it's kind of fun. I've never done a long pillow finish like this before, so that was kind of fun. This is by Plum Street Samplers too, and I colorized this. The original is kind of done in a bunch of different kind of tans. It almost has like a sepia tone to it, but I used a bunch of different colors on this, and I love it in color. I think it really kind of makes the piece. This is the same Winter's Eve that I used on the Brenda Gervais pattern, and I love her plaid skirt. This is new to the dough bowl. This is the shepherd's bush one I was just talking about, land that I love, and you can see all the back stitching on the vine. And again, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I did a chenille trim on the front, and then This, I believe, is from Bonnie and Camille. It's not Nantucket Summer. It's the one that's blue and green, and I cannot think of the line. Anyway, really happy with that one. This was another shop model that I got from that same sale I just told you about. This has the LG initials. This is a Blackbird. It's called In Full Glory, and it's from the Sweet Land of Liberty book. This was a little freebie from, it was listed on the Plum Street Samplers blog, maybe from like 2015 maybe. Her daughter made this. I believe her daughter does Blueberry Ridge designs, but yeah, you can still find it on her blog. It's a freebie, so I really love that one. This is Primrose Cottage. This is Christmas quilt, and I did it in a patriotic colorway. This is stitched on 32 count ale by Picture This Plus, and I used Colour and Cotton floss. The white is Tusk, the red is Winterberry, and the blue is Deep Sea. And this is another Plum Street Sampler freebie, Hip Hip Hooray. I want to say it's called Happy Birthday George Washington. This one is probably from 2015 or 17 as well, and you can still find it on her blog. And I kind of did the same prim red, white, and blue color palette as well, but I really love it. I did the same red ticking stripe on the back, so I don't know why we have batteries in there. That's probably my child hiding things. Okay, so let me put those back nice and pretty. Okay, and then I just have a couple more things. Here is my In Full Glory that I stitched, and again, it's very different from the shop model one. I brightened my colors up quite a bit, but mine is framed. I really love it framed. And again, I used Colour and Cotton. I thought the frame was really perfect when I found it too. It was nice and distressed. It came from Basket Market, which is a clearance center for Hobby Lobby. I love that one. And then two more that were from the shop models from Brenda Gervais, Sweet Land of Liberty. This is stitched on like a 36 count, 1/2. And it's got just a really nice firm pillow finish on it with this really pretty polka dot pom-pom. Why can I not think of that? And then this is also a shop model that was a Brenda Gervais as well. I don't know the name of this off the top of my head, but it is really beautiful as well. On 36 count, 1/2. Not really crazy about the back fabric on it. I mean, it is very much like couch pillowish, but it's still really pretty on my tiered tray. And then I made a bunch of these last summer, and they are just cute little patriotic pillows. I went through my fabric stash and just got different strips of red and white fabric. I cut a square of a blue, and I just kind of started sewing strips. And this one here, I have some lace on here, and then these are vintage kind of pearl buttons from my button jar that I've picked up at estate sales and things like that. So I did this on the back, and I actually have about, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these pillows that I stitched or that I sewed, and they all kind of sit together on the very bottom tier of my tiered tray in the living room. So I have one of those really like tall, it's like 5 feet tall with like 4 different tiers. So they all sit together on the bottom, but and they're all a little bit different. One's kind of a little bit more like faded blue, and like the red is almost like a pink color. They're really fun. So, okay, now that I've done the previous finishes, now you can see part 3 of Blackbird. So enjoy, happy stitching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Hi friends, it's Holly Jones from Mrs. Jones Stitches. Welcome to part 3 of my Blackbird Designs stash walkthrough. I hope you are enjoying the walkthrough. Again, I mentioned I have a lot of Blackbirds. So basically, if you're new and you're starting at number 3, what I'm doing is I am going through all of the Blackbird Designs books so you can see exactly what is in each one of the books. I feel like I scroll through Instagram or I see charts all the time and I'm like, where did that one come from? I've never seen that pattern before. So a lot of times you have a book, I'll use this one for example, I just went through this one in video number 2, but you just see the cover and you might see a couple pieces here on the back, but there's so many other things in the book that aren't necessarily pictured. So that's one reason why I am filming the video. And we're just kind of going through a whole bunch of charts that are in books that maybe some are a little bit lesser known than others. Some of them are still in print. There are a lot that aren't in print as well, but I do know that they've been reprinting a lot of charts. So hopefully if you see something that you're dying to stitch, it is available to you. So here's another one I have, Sing a Song of Seasons, and it is just this chart. But I just loved those greens and blues. And then I also have It's Spring Fever. I'm going to stitch this one this year. The winter is past. I have my thread pulled for it and my floss. I just need the time to sit down and start it. Okay, here's a book. I do know this one is out of print. This is called For My Friend. And actually, this is the book that actually inspired me to start doing the walkthrough with the books. Because again, I saw this on a D-Stash site. I'd never seen this book before. And I just thought, wow, there's a lot of stuff in here that you wouldn't know. So I thought, well, let's go through it. And let's just kind of do a walkthrough of some of the books. This has quite a few things. This one here is called Love One Another. And I had mentioned this in my previous Flosstube. One thing you could do is you could just do Love One Another, and then you could do 3 motifs or 6 motifs, and then move this part here up. And then you can really make it quite a bit smaller if you so choose. I think this piece right here would be really pretty, just finished into a small pillow. You do it for an anniversary. This one also too, I've never seen any of the Blackbird books have recipes. And this one has rosemary shortbread hearts and sweethearts, which are like a shortbread cookie with some royal icing. So we have the Love One Another piece. Then we have Tweethearts, sorry. And it's that little pin cushion that's finished into a heart. Then we have Tweethearts number 2. And here you can see them pictured together. Be Mine stocking. Lots of X's and O's on that one. Hearts on a Wire. And essentially what they did was they just stitched some hearts on some perforated paper and used a piece of wire and coiled them up. Be a cute little topper. True Hearts Table Runner. There's one other piece in here that was really pretty. Here we go. Our Home Sewing Box. I would probably lighten those colors up just a little bit to fit my own home decor, but that is beautiful. I love stitching houses. And 2 Hearts tag. It says 2 hearts stitched as one. Okay, another one we have is Evening Shades in the Garden, and there's no extra bonus charts of this one, just the chart. We have Garden Borders, Bountiful Harvest, American Star. This one is America the Beautiful. I love stitching flags too. That'll be a really fun one. This is my friend's house, and it says the ornament of a house is the friends who frequent it. I'm gonna save those for a little bit later in here. Then we have Forget Me Not, which I love those blue flowers. I really want to stitch this one. Morning Star. Mother's Day. One thing that you could do with this one is you could just stitch this top part with the flower basket, and you could put your kids' initials or your family's initials, or you could stitch it as one large piece. But I really love the versatility of this. Then we have My Valentine, and it says, let love with flowers your heart. Yeah, I can't read that. Let love with flowers your heart entwine, and bind at last, my Valentine. We have Moon Garden. I love this one, Rosy Morning. Those flowers at the top. Perfection. Justice for All. Star Sampler. The rest books are the individual charts. The rest are books. Okay. I'll move these over here with the rest. Okay. Let me go through this one. This is July 2011 Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. And there's a really pretty blackbird in here. And it is, give me just a second. I'm sorry for any extra noise. This one was really pretty. Here we go. Land of the Free. Okay. I also got this one, Harvest of Friendship, To Light the Way and Seaside Beauty. And again, there are 2 more stockings. I've really been on a beach kick this year. We are leaving to go to Florida in about a month. We're going to be going to Pensacola, and I'm really looking forward to it. I want to stitch all the beachy things right now to commemorate our trip. So I am on the hunt for good beach patterns, and I definitely want to stitch that one. And then there's another one coming up that I really want to stitch too, so it'll be a good time. Also, note to self, I live in a suburb of Oklahoma City. We are driving through Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and to get to Florida. If you know of any cross stitch shops along the way, I would very much appreciate it if you would drop them in the comments below so I can frequent them while I'm on vacation. Especially in Pensacola area, because we will be there for about a week, so I will have plenty of time to go to some stores. Okay, back to the, this one is out of print. This is called Christmas Garden. This book is from 2011. So here is the actual Christmas Garden piece. Now, this chart is in the I don't remember what book. It's in my second video. So it is available in a different book right now. Was it The Bells on Christmas Day? I don't remember. This one is called Naughty or Nice. And I love how they took the old vintage buttons and made a border. I've actually stitched this. I love it. Then we have, this is just called Gift Box. And that's it. That just has those 3 in it. Here's a better picture of the gift box. And Naughty or Nice. Okay. Ooh La La, Samplers and Projects with a French Flair. I have not stitched anything out of this book yet. There's a lot of things in here. Ma Cherie Louise. Mon Petit Exemplar. They turned that one into a sewing bag. Les Poulets, a French pincushion. Siobhan's Petite Chien. Don't speak French. Not even a little bit. A little bit French. It's actually a small one. 77 by 73. Finishes out 5.5 by 5.25. That's what it looks like. That would be a good just everyday sampler to have around. Do Ozadu? I don't know how to say that. But it's pretty. A Bit of Spring. That's a really pretty floral border on that one. Her Fair Works, a sewing box. There's literally so many good ones in here. The Budding Twigs pin roll. I love that bird. Last Rose of Summer. Is that the last one? Nope. Spring Green pincushion. Love it. Okay, that's the last one. Next we have Our Lasting Friendship. And here is the actual piece right here. May this be a token of our lasting friendship. And then you can stitch your friends' names in this one. I would really love to do this as like a round robin where you stitch probably just this centerpiece and then you send it to some of your stitchy friends and they put their initials in it. I think that would be so sweet. That'd be really fun to do at a retreat. Okay. So you could have this part already stitched, have these already stitched, and then have all your table mates stitch their own initials. Yes. Yes. That would be so good. Because you know at a retreat, everybody's working on their own things, but everybody has time, at least like 10 minutes, to stitch their own initials. I love that. I'm going to do that. Okay. We have My Heart to Hold, which is a memory box. I think I just blew my own mind on that one. Shepherd's Bush pincushion. And then the other one is the actual pattern for Our Lasting Friendship. Okay. This is out of print, but this is one of my most favorite ones. I can't wait to show you what I want to stitch with this one. I talked about the beach. This one has a lot of pictures in it. This is called the Kildare Model School. Just kind of a sampler there. Seaside Retreat. Come down to the sea and stitch with me. I am going to stitch this while we're on vacation. I already have the perfect blue picked out, and it's going to be beautiful. Experience Leland's Needle Book. I'm going to have to cover this up a little bit. Okay, so here is what, I put the pattern right on top of this picture. So there's the needle book. So cute. Tulip House. I love that one. Then we have Tulip House Stitching Companion, which I stitched this for a retreat small swap once. Tulip Pin Cushion. Right there. Thistle House Sewing Box. Then we have Oh My Stars Pinkeep. Again, you could take this Pinkeep and you could do red, white, and blue. You could do orange and black. You could do pinks and reds. You could do reds and greens. You could do a whole bunch of different things to change that out seasonally. Or just make it match your home decor. Birds and Berries Needlebook. Birds and Berries Pin Box. I'm gonna have to put my hand over this. Prairie House Sewing Case. Summer Stars Pin Cushion. Is that not the same as the other one? Hang tight. This literally looks exactly the same. Okay, so they are slightly different. We have Oh My Stars Pinkeep, which I just showed you. And then we have Summer Stars Pin Cushion. But to me, they look very similar. Summer Sachet. Heart and Bloom Sewing Tray. 2 souls, 1 heart. This would be good for a bridal shower, a wedding shower, an anniversary piece. Lots of good stuff. Okay, that's the last from that book. This book, probably one of my most favorites. I love this book. This was the first Blackbird that I actually paid quite a bit for. I want to say I paid upwards of like $80 for this book. It is out of print, but there's so many good things in here. When you stop and think that, how many things are in here? Just 16 projects. So was it expensive? Yes. Would I normally do this? No, but I really love this one. Another one of my favorites is the Sewing Club. There's so many good things in here that I want to stitch. And lots of things I have stitched. Rose Hips and Ivy. And this finished into a drum. In My Garden. Theirs is finished into a drum as well, but I would probably finish mine more like this. Just the flat piece. I really like drums and pin rolls, but I also like being able to see the entire piece together. This is My Home Scissor Box. And that is all stitched 1/1. It is very tiny. Summer Basket Button Bag. Then we have Hollyhocks, We're Always There Housewife. Penny, stop. Garden Friend Sewing Bag. This one's so pretty. I actually had started it and I miscounted when I cut my fabric, and I was maybe halfway through and I realized my piece wasn't going to fit. So I ended up just scrapping it, and I hated that I had to do that, but I didn't really feel like I had much other choice. This is Ripe Pear Scissor Box. This piece is really similar. Some of these motifs are very similar to the stuff that is in Oh Joyous Day. Summer Flocks. The Air of Other Summers Pincushion. Willing Hands. She works with willing hands in delight. A Bit of Summer. That is only shown as a drum. Songbird Whistles. Again, only shown as a drum. Gathering Swallows. Tiny Treetops, Rose or Thyme. So cute. And Garden Morning, only pictured as the drum. I think that's one thing I love about this book is I feel like I would stitch every one of these. There's not one in there that I'm kind of like it's not really my taste or my preference, but I love everyone in that book. Okay, and this is my last one. This is one of the newest ones I've gotten. It is also out of print. It's called A Schoolgirl's Work, and this is done with a joint collaboration with Blackbird Designs and the Spencer Museum of Art to share historical schoolgirl samplers with cross stitchers of today. So basically, this book has a lot of pictures of vintage samplers along with history behind them. So there's lots of pictures in here. Talks with the ladies who stitched them and the historical significance of these samplers. Then towards the back we have the projects, and these projects are inspired by the schoolgirls' work in the previous motifs. So this one is called Remember Me. I really love these because they are inspired by vintage samplers, and I just think they're so beautiful. This is called Where Flowers Bloom. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. Hannah's Small Basket. Polly's Sewing Box. Polly's Floss Ring. It's the same. Rosebud Sachets. So Fade My Hours needle book. So a picture of the whole book and not just the half of it. There we go. Look on these flowers, so fade my hours. Anne's sewing tray. Sewing mends the soul. That might be the last one. And darning pincushion. So they just took one of the motifs and put it on the end of a knob, it looks like. So anyway, those are out of a schoolgirl's work. So that is it. Those are all my Blackbirds. So that spanned 3 videos. I hope you saw lots of inspiration. I hope that you are on the hunt for your unicorns. If you saw anything that you loved. Like I said, I usually find a lot of stuff for sale on the D-Stash sites. There's an out-of-print site as well that you can visit. And honestly, I scour Facebook Marketplace quite a bit. I just search cross stitch, and sometimes you get some really good stuff like blackbirds. Sometimes you get things with teddy bears and geese. So it's just kind of hit or miss. I also scour estate sales and garage sales because you never know what people are going to sell. So honestly, that is how I've amassed this collection of things. And then just people who know that I love Blackbirds. So that is by far the designer that I have the most things of. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite thing that you saw was. And until next time, we'll see you next time. Bye.